Hey guys, thank you for checking out our YouTube video. My name is Sean Elders. Today we're going to be talking about why do people make Panantukan so complicated? They make it so flashy and they make it so not functional. Let's talk about it next. You know, one of the issues that I find is I see people doing Panantukan and it looks beautiful, it looks awesome. Then they're showing these awesome, wonderful movements and things like that. And they go all, you know, from the first step to the second step, all the way down to the ground, and they do all these takedowns. But the truth is that it's beautiful, but it's not functional to practice it this way. And the reason why people practice it this way is because when people go to seminars, okay, and things like that, it is a way that the teacher can portray all the movements that take place inside of Panantukan, for instance, okay? But the truth is that you have to take each one of those parts and break it down into its individual piece, okay? I find this to be so frustrating because I see these awesome, wonderful martial art instructors teaching Panantukan and doing all these great, wonderful demonstrations, but how many of them actually spar it? How many actually make it work in live motion? And that's really what is fighting about. Fighting is about learning how to fight, period. And you have to practice it in different ways. First, by doing the fundamentals, like we talked about in the last video, practicing in front of the mirror, getting in front of the bag if it's striking, getting in front of a partner and doing it nice and slow, then adding footwork, then adding, you know, your movement, picking up the pace, picking it up even more. You have to do that, okay? And I feel like one of the issues that I find is that there is a neglect in spending the time that you need to spend to actually get to know the movements. They just want to look cool. They just want to make it look flashy. And the other part is that they want to do it like the masters do it. Well, the masters do it that way so that you can learn how to, all the aspects and wonderful things that are inside of Panantukan. But it is not what it's going to look like in a vicious, violent altercation. It is going to look like chaos. The idea of Panantukan or any fighting way of fighting is to be able to adapt inside of chaos, pure violence. And so you have to work your way up and start off with the foundational movements and work all the way up to sparring. But is sparring fighting? No, it's not fighting, okay? And so even sparring has its weaknesses. Even doing it inside the ring has its weaknesses. Why? Because as soon as two people get in the ring, what happens is that there is a certain cadence, there is a certain energy, there's a certain vibe aspect that takes place that both people, when they walk in that room, they both have. They have certain expectations and certain ideology about how this fight is supposed to go. What's the pace? Okay? What's the pressure? Those things don't take place when somebody's trying to kill you or somebody's trying to beat the hell out of you. Okay? It's a different type of pressure. And so you have to create those pressures to the point where, guess what? You're pretty much just going to be in a full-out brawl with somebody, and you start to apply one movement, two movements, but not together. Why? Because it's not going to be this beautiful 1, 2, 3, all these wonderful, beautiful, flashy movements. No, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work that way. So we have to change our perspective and change our way of training. We have to break each part down. So I'm just going to show you one long range, one middle range, and one close quarter range destruction, for instance. So one of the aspects is that he's going to practice doing, for instance, we're gonna call it a assisted Seiko destruction, which means that his elbow comes up. Let's do vertical elbow. So his vertical elbow goes up, and his other hand is going to guide that punch. So go ahead and do the Seiko position. Okay, and so what this hand does is it comes in and it just guides that punch. That's it. So you'd get in front of the mirror and you would practice making sure the elbow gets in front of the chin and that hand guides the punch. Or if it's the largo distance one, you're not even guiding, it's not assisted, you're just taking that elbow and moving it up like this. Or if you're in a boxing structure, the elbow just goes up, boom, just like that. See, and it just does it over and over and over again. I know you guys don't want to do this. You just want to get in the ring and punch each other out. But the truth is that that's what we have to do. We have to give this some honor. We have to respect the movement, and you have to learn it. You have to do thousands of repetitions of this movement so that you know exactly how to do it. If you go, oh, I can do that. Sure, you could do it, but you're not going to be able to do it in live motion. You're not going to be able to do it when somebody is trying to knock your head off. There is a process and a progression to your movement. So his hands go up, okay? And that elbow just comes up in front of the mirror, and you'll see it. You make this in eclipse, okay? Your face, boom, there's the eclipse, okay? So that's the first one. You would do that in the mirror. Then you get a partner like me, and I put on a glove, and don't even go crazy. We're not even gonna use footwork yet. The first thing is, if I'm at this distance, he's gonna do a different movement. He's not gonna do the Seiko, unless he step and slides back, okay? So for instance, if I'm trying to punch him in the face, he steps and slides back like this, okay? That's his first movement. The second one would be if I'm a little bit closer, okay, the elbow just comes straight up underneath my hand as I'm coming up. So it actually would land sometimes right up underneath here, which if you've been hit on the fingers right here, it hurts like hell. It aches, okay? You throw this punch, boom, and it hits the hand. And then if I respond to it, he comes back and attacks me. Because what I talked about in the last video is, what are destructions? Destructions are meant to create delay. Actually, a destruction creates a response. That response is a delay. The delay is your opportunity to find a new line of attack and unleash your wrath until they're no longer a threat. That's what we're trying to do here, okay? So when I throw that punch, I'm trying to punch at his face. Maybe I'm moving in. If I'm at a distance and I come in and I move in like this, that's what we're going to be doing, you see? So the second aspect of this is, after you've done it in the mirror and after you've done it in the mirror lots and lots of times, thousands of times, then you have your partner just come in and go like this, okay? We're just moving in, we're striking, okay? I'm keeping my hand, usually I'd have my hand up like this, by the way, when I'm feeding. So the feeder needs to make sure that they have proper structure, but because we're on the video, I'm gonna have my hand down so you can see my face, okay? So all I'm doing is this. I'm just bringing that punch in, bringing it straight in like this. That's the first aspect, okay? Then we start to move around. So I move around here and I'm trying to hit him just like this, see? And I'm trying to hit him in the face. Notice he's moving back a little bit, okay? If I'm close enough, just stay. If I'm close enough, I'm gonna hit him like this, you see? I'm actually gonna be even a little closer because I'm trying to knock his head off, okay? When that happens, let's back up a little bit. So when that happens, we're going to make sure that we step back a little bit. So he's in his position, I'm trying to hit him and boom, okay? Boom, okay? And so you have to do this over and over and over again, okay? And that's just me moving forward and him moving back. Then the next one would be where we move around like this, you know, and I'm actually using footwork and I'm coming in, okay? And I maybe even, you know, do that kind of thing. Oh, look at that, he wasn't even ready. And he still put his arm up and he was able to defend it. See that? Well, So make sure you pay attention to the person's chest when you're moving around, okay? Don't watch the hand. The hand will deceive you and the hand will hit you before you can be able to respond. You need to learn body mechanics, okay? Pay attention to the body. So that's the first aspect to this, okay? Then what you would do is you could practice, you could have your buddy, and I'll remind you, when we're doing this, you have to spend a lot of time doing that. I'm going step by step, but each step needs to be 1,000 reps, okay? That's what you gotta do, okay? That's how you get good at this. So think of those as step by step, 1,000 repetitions each. Then you can maybe add in a fake. You know, you could try to do fakes and do it. So you can get used to doing that. You can add different things, okay? So that gets developed, okay? the idea is that they learn how to identify the line of attack. Now let's go to the next one. So the next one's going to be an inside goon team. Destruction pad here, okay? Get it at the local Walmart, all right? All it is a softball, or I'm sorry, not a soft. It's a, I think it's like a volleyball knee pad, okay? Or maybe, I don't think it's a soccer knee pad, but I think it's a volleyball knee pad, okay? Simple. It's nice and thick. It's the perfect thing. You still can feel it when if they really crank on it, you know, and hit hard, that you can feel it still, but it really is something that you can help develop that in full speed, okay? You start off, you practice slow, okay? So you just put out that hand just like this, okay? Notice my hand's going down because I'm trying to talk to you, okay? Remember, your hand should be up here, in my opinion, okay? So boom, just like that. The first thing, what's the first most important thing of this? Is that he parries the punch. That's the most important thing, okay? He parries it out of the way and his head moves off to the side. Your head needs to be constantly moving all the time. So you just do that over and over again. But what do you do before this? You get in front of the mirror and you make sure your body mechanics are right. Make sure your stance is right. Make sure your knees are bent, your elbows are in, all those basic things, okay? You throw the punch, boom, there it is, okay? And he's practicing that over and over and over again. You want to do this 1,000 times, okay? Just this type right here, 1,000 times in the mirror, 1,000 times here, because you're trying to get to 10,000 repetitions. So we're going here, okay? Then I can start to move around a little bit, okay? For this, we'll just move forward and back right now, okay? So I go forward and back and I do the destruction. Notice I move back, okay? I throw the punch at his face, okay? And he moves his body, he moves his hands, and he gets out of the way of that punch, okay? Am I throwing deep enough? You better believe it. I'll knock his head off if he doesn't get it, okay? And that's the idea of this, okay? You need to be accountable to your partner. Your partner needs to be accountable to you to make sure that you guys are training this properly in a safe environment. It's not that I'm trying to get you to bully your partner or anything like that. Your partner is your best friend, I'm telling you. That person is your number one fan and your number one teammate, okay? Because they're gonna be the ones that are gonna help you get better. So keep that in mind when you're training with your partner, all right? So we're going here, boom, just like that. Okay, now we move around a little bit so we can move to the right and left and then move in and attack. Yeah, got a little sneaky one in there. Okay, so the last one we're going to do is we're going to do hook. So how does that work? That's going to work because we're inside of we're going to be more in corto mano range. Okay, so this happens all the time. I'm in this position, okay, and he's going to Seiko elbow up with an assistant. So boom, like this. This is one way to do it right here. You see that? I come in, bam, that sucks, okay? It sucks when you get hit with this, okay? So when you get that overhand or that wide hook, bam, there it is, okay? This is the thing that people don't understand. When you get into a real fight and you're actually fighting somebody, okay, what happens is that they're trying to knock your head off. It's not like a sparring match. So you have to remember that when you're training, that person may be trying to kill you. They're trying to knock your head off. They're trying to rearrange your face, okay? So the punch, the pressure, everything's gonna be different. When they throw a hook, I am throwing it with my whole body to try to knock this person's head off, okay? He's creating a Seiko structure, okay? That structure is here, see, just like that. Notice this hand's up, okay? Because when that head goes here, this hand may fire off. Now, if I do it as hard as most people do it, they're gonna be hurting, and then he's gonna follow up with an attack, okay? In corto mano range, which means elbows, knees, and headbutts, eye gouges, so on and so forth, okay? Or going to Dumog, or going to double leg, single leg takedown, or whatever you wanna do from there, okay? But the idea is that I'm changing and tweaking. Instead of doing just a regular boxer's cover like this, I'm tipping that elbow out just slightly and having this other hand ready to check or counter when needed. Why is this so effective? Because back when I was growing up, you know, you had karate, taekwondo, you know, you had all the basic things, and they would block and strike, okay? This is offensive. So you're getting attacked, okay, and you're attacking them at the same time, which means that you're getting closer to your goal of they're no longer a threat. But when you defend and you block, you're blocking your attacks, guess what? You're not getting any closer to taking this person out. You're just not. It's just not happening, okay? So the first part to this is when I go here like this, okay, he is getting that structure just right. His shoulder is up, okay? Do it on this side so you can see. When I come in here like this, boom, his shoulder is up, his head is in, his chin is down, his hand is protected. I do it on this side. See that? This is our basic, this is our number one basic Seco destruction from the inside position, okay? Why is it corto mano and not largo mano, okay? Or midro mano? The reason why is because, or middle range, or why is this close quarter range? Because he can hit me with that elbow. That's what makes it different, okay? His elbow is right on my bicep. He can elbow me in the face right here. He's in range to hit me with the elbow. He's in range to headbutt me. He's in range to knee me. That's what makes it close quarter or corto mano range. When I'm in middle range, if I'm out here and I throw a hook like this, guess what? He's hitting my hand or the inside of my arm here. That is midro mano range because I can hit him. Largo mano range is where, or long range is where I can't hit him. We're outside what we call the pocket, okay? We're outside and we can use the elbow to do a destruction. Okay, we may be able to do a side kick, but we're outside. Okay, so keep that in mind when we're talking about all this. I want you to understand range because range is one of the 12 staples of striking. Go to that YouTube video where I talk about that. Okay, so he practices in the mirror thousands of times. Then he has a partner and he goes here, boom, there it is. See that? And you would just practice doing this over and over again. Maybe I'm going here like this, bam, just like that. And I'm doing an overhand, okay? And I'm trying to punch into that here. Ooh, I felt that one, boy. See that? Okay, see? So I'm trying to hit him in the face and that elbow comes up. You see? That elbow comes up. That's what I'm trying to talk about, all right? Now that's the most simplest one. There's more that are, ones that are you do different things, but we're not worried about that right now. What I'm trying to teach you is the process of how to make this stuff happen in live motion. You got to learn this. You got to take the time to learn it properly. Okay. So take your time, thousands of repetitions. Okay. So then on this last one, when we're practicing it, when I'm in my position here, what I'll do is I'll practice going on this side, okay, and then this side, like that. This side, and then this side, okay. I may go here, I may be in fighting position, and what's going to happen is I may go jab, okay, and then I throw that hook, and then he comes into corto mano range. See how he's checking out of their hand? He wants to make sure that hand don't fire off, okay. And it's the same thing. First you start going forward and back, then you move around and do it. And that's the basic process of getting started with this. Are we going into functionalizing yet? No, actually we're not, okay? Because you first have to learn each attack, okay, properly and be able to perform it all the way to the point where that person's punching as fast as they can at you, okay? Then you start to learn how to deal with the combinations of attacks, okay, and how to navigate around those. I hope this helped. I'll see you guys next time. Go to our website, pinnaclecombatarts.com. There you can find out more about what I do and the classes that I provide. Thank you guys so much for your support and have a great day.